Como Juana soy Ana Dalila Gómez Báos, me ando en Roma, ¿no? He empezado ando Bogotá, caicio en Colombia, cacoti si de azúcar mangue, cai ya sabojete das duma pesale mucha catalejón, ande salumia, naizarao caubere, José Alfredo Maya, José Luis, sabojenge tumengue, naiz tumengue, maranata, caiquerdia cachapuchi. Cacha cacodies hay cacha submesha te dao tuma te dao anglais o anao cataramaro Marcel Courthiade caiquerdia bubucha pelejón caisas manus pachivalo bujanglo caijanelas bushiva hay que las bud buchape amarishi homai de azúcar naisles que cae diame de sabut bucha ay cacodies sileski na istumenge shabale con dikela cachachita trao tumenge basta esastimos. Bueno,
thank you very much. My name is Ana Dalila Gómez Báos. I'm part of the Roma people here in Colombia. For me it's very important to be here today in this 10th International Roma Seminar. Thank you very much. José Alfredo Maya, thank you José Luis, thank you to the Maranatha Federation for this opportunity to be here with you today. Thank you. I would like to make a tribute of my speech to Uncle Marcel, who was very important for me and for the Roma world. He contributed to us with all his knowledge for the Shihomai, the Roma language. He fought for the rights of our people. So, Uncle Marcel, wherever you are, thank you very much. And I really hope that this meditation, this conservation we are having, pays tribute to all the Roma people, for all of you, health and freedom. I'm going to talk to you about the contribution of Roma people to the social rule of law. To the social rule of law. It is highly relevant for us to participate in the dynamics of contributing to the world, taking into account especially that during all our history we have been persecuted. We have been seen as not the good people of the world, but here today I want to talk about the contribution of the Roma people to the social rule of law. For us, as people, we can contribute to the world from many areas. We can help this sedentary world that grabs the land. We can give them lots of ideas and knowledge from our nomadic society. So, in Colombia, we have been working since the Constitution of 91 that says on the article number 1 that Colombia is a rule of law state, that Colombia respects the human dignity, that it's a plural democratic state that allows diversity, in particular Roma people. We have contributed to the contribution of all this background, from the guarantee of the right to be different, not only as individuals, not only as citizens, but also as a collective, as a group of people. Here, we have advanced a lot in the legal framework that allows us to have these collective rights. So, we can say that Roma people deserve a place in this country as a society, as Roma people that can contribute to this society a lot. That's why we began with the task of making ourselves visible for the society, for the academic world. We want to be visible in the different institutions and entities. We want to be visible for the government here in Colombia. And we can say that we fought for our rights. Which fights? Strengthening our language. We have Law 1381/2010, in which Mai has been part of the native languages of these countries, also in education, in health. Well, we advance little by little, one step at a time. For us, it's really, really important that we are not only on the papers, we are not only in the laws and regulation, but we sometimes see that reality is another thing. So we think that we have gone beyond, unless some other countries on the continent. We see different policies in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Mexico. They do not have many things. They have the will to do things, but we should organize ourselves so we can have an influence on the constitutions. For instance, Chile is changing its constitution right now, so we would like to encourage them to include our rights as Roma people within their constitution. We think that all these elements that we are seeing here are really important. So Roma people can get all the guarantees, and in every different sphere, like the academic world, in the public policy world, in society, in the media. Media are so important. You are fully aware that media has not been treating us very well in Argentina, in Chile, in Spain. You can find so many negative things that they say that all are done by the Roma people. So Roma people are criminals. And if one Roma individual do something wrong, every Roma people are awful. It's not the same for white people. For us, all these elements are important. Right now, in the 21st century, we want to be able to have an insurrection, to be rebel, and to tell the state that we are subjects of law, that we are diverse, that we have our own dignity because we are human beings and we are citizens of the country. We are not second-rate citizens, we are just standard normal citizens. I think that it is very important that in Spain the Roma people have to fight for the equality. There's a equality law, but we need a law for non-discrimination. We can all be the same, but I am not the same as the majority of the society. I'm different. I'm Roma people, I have a culture, I have my customs. In that sense, I think that it is important as well to work on it. In Colombia, we have advanced a lot for the state to recognize us as such. I know that there are many things to do. We need more social investment, for so many things. Okay, on paper, it's very good, everything is very good, but in reality it's not so good. There's discrimination, I think that we lack a special approach for us. So it is important for all these policies to include this differential approach, so we fight against assimilation. I mean, we need positive actions which are relevant for us. We don't want to be adapted to the state because we don't want to. We want to be ourselves. We don't want to adapt. We don't want to disappear. So What I'm telling you today is we need to fight to go on being what we are. So what we need first of all, our love, the fight we have inside of us. That would be the first thing to do. Second one, we have the need of public policies. We need to go to the media. We need to tell them to understand that we are people with ancestral customs and culture, and we need to be treated with dignity. That's why, for instance, we work a lot on many different areas like education, because all people in Colombia, also as in many other countries, we don't have access to education with this differential approach. For us, it is fundamental to use an approach that respects our customs. That's why we have to promote Roma language as something fundamental for our Roma people and for our Roma students. On the other hand, health. We need this differential approach for health. So women need a special treatment done by women, men with men, women with women, and they have to respect our collective. And you know that when someone is sick, it is not that individual sick, it's all the community sick, and it's the people who's sick. And also the fact that being nomads from a spiritual concept, this means that we need also investment in housing. We are like birds, we fly and then we come back to our nest, and we need an habitat for us to live in our condition. It is important. All these elements are so important. They have these affirmative actions with differences, customized for us. We believe that we are a paradigm for the world, because in Colombia we have worked with two general population census. In 2005, 4,800 people as Roma people. General census in 2018, we went down 56%. We don't know what happened to that people. We have 2,600 people, and that means that we are being counted and we are taken into account within the social policies. We as Roma people, and not only our contribution here in Colombia but also in Spain, for instance, it is important to fight everywhere in every country. We have to tell them that we have been contributing not individually but as a community, as a group. What we have as Roma people doesn't mean that we are getting rid of the nation we are living in, whether it is Spain, Colombia or Argentina or any other country in which we live. So, when we are fighting for the social rule of law, it's because we require that status for Roma people. We need all the public policies adapted for us. That means that we cannot say to other people, fight for us, because we have our needs and we have to fight for them. So it is important to understand us as a community, as the whole Roma people, because we have to tell them about our realities, about discrimination, about our anguish, the lack of resources to support our family, lack of food. For us is highly relevant. that with all these elements, all these actions, we can talk to the different governments and we can tell them that we can contribute to do something together. It is very important that in every country we can work with all these elements I mentioned before and that we have been working on in Colombia. So I think we should organize ourselves better and we would have to have a common fight that will allow us to consolidate the key elements to go to talk to the state, all the elements that are ours as a Roma people who is subject of law. I think that the experience, for instance, in Chile, they are changing their constitution, and it is an important moment because then we can see how Roma people is going to be included in the constitution. I know this is difficult because we have to be very well organized to help to create a social rule of law in a new constitution, but it would be important. I think it's an historic milestone for us, the 8th of April, which is the World Roma Day. We can work at local, national, international and global level, and we can tell the world that we deserve to be treated with dignity, human dignity, and that we have rights as they are represented in all the constitutions. The constitutions are the tool for the law in every country. I think that the 8th of April has to be very important. It's a commemoration for us, and we have to remember all of those who fought for us in the past, like MARCEL COURTHIADE, who really fought for us and our rights. And he was always paying attention to every country in Europe, and it helps us and it gives us strength to fight so we can be diverse, so we can go to the insurrection and to fight for our freedom as Roma people, because we want to keep our customs. That's why I'm calling everyone in this Congress, in this seminar, which is so important. Thank you very much, Bere. Thank you very much, Maranatha Federation, because you have been organizing this seminar for so many years, and the contribution of this seminar has helped so much to the Roma people internationally. So that's why we have cousins everywhere in different countries participating in this seminar. Argentina, France, Spain, Italy, Colombia, so many countries. So many countries from Europe and America, from the Americas. So I really would like to encourage you to join our forces and to fight for our rights, the rights we have. I make a call to the United Nations. Please allow us to take our demands, to our requests to the WHO, to the United Nations, and so on. We need also vaccination for Roma people. We need to be respected as we are different. This is a fundamental right for us because we are part of the different states, and the states have to adapt to our societies and our needs. So we are an ethnic diversity of the world. And that's why we have contributed to the different countries, not only with artists, with our culture, with our life, but also from our language and also that on the point of view of solving of issues with the value of our elders, because of our elders for us are the most valuable things in the world. We don't have them in residences. For us, our elders live with us, and they have left us all the background, cultural background, all the memories. We are different. Honestly, we need different policies for us. We need a differential approach for us so we can live with the rest of the people, and so we have the same rights as the rest of the society. So, dear cousins, we are fighting, and we have to fight for those policies. We don't only have to fight for equality, but equality is okay. We want the same opportunities and everything. But we also have to defend our identity because we are different. And we need specific policies for us. We need the social investment to protect our culture as people. So I really encourage you to do this because we need results. Over time, we need an answer from the different states, and also because we as people have to answer to all people. We are a little bit younger, we are beginning, but we have taken the first step. We are fighting for the public policies, and the thing would be, we need that social investment, we need that funding to change our reality. So, we want to tell you, here we are, we deserve a better world, health and freedom to all the Roma people. This is from Dalila Gómez, Colombia, Roma woman. I want to say you hello, thank you very much for having listened to me, hope to see you soon. Thank you, nice to meet you.
Amarilumia Siepu Le Payesa Tayemaria Achijanas Peltelmichi Andaltema Palakeningi Sosima Incha Achipachas Andel Marimos Amaroglazo Zuralo Sipeodron Puterdo Amesam Oten Kaitrais Kanakhelokam Ayas, Ayabas, Sarebalbal, Ailesherhayi, Tearakazame, Andokamimos. Amarilumia, Siakanai Katka, Palacodia, Traizaras, Sarnuma Teabela 10. Sam Shaveka Tarebalbal, Ayandepu, Homai, Sam Ame. Oten Romano Amarilumia Romai Amarideye Pu Romai Amarodat Ciodel Ayamarodrayo Ciebalbal Kadia Samame Ayas Ayavas Bach Sastimos Sale Homenge Andasala Lumiaki
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hi, Ana
Hola, muy
Dalila.
buenas, Ana
Good
Dalila.
afternoon.
Gracias
How are
por tu
you?
intervención.
Thank you
Mira,
very much
tenemos aquí a Jorge Neritz, de
for
Argentina,
your
Hola, Jorge.
que quiere hacerte una
presentation.
pregunta.
We have
Adelante,
Jorge
Jorge.
Neri here. He wants to ask you something.
Decía que a Dalila hace muchos años que la conozco, mucho más desde las
I was
redes.
saying
Nos
that
vimos
I
en
met
un
her
congreso en Argentina hace algunos años,
many years ago.
pero siempre estamos
We
en
were together
contacto,
here in a
siempre es un
congress in
gusto
Argentina,
escucharla.
and we are
Es
always
muy lúcida,
in
es muy
contact.
certera con lo que dice.
She's
De
wonderful and
acuerdo
she's
en
brilliant, and the things she
todo lo
says
que dice
are
Dalila, me parece
so
que sí, que
right.
tenemos que avanzar.
So I
Agradezco
think that
también el
we
video
do have
porque es muy saludable ver
to move,
el trabajo
and thank you very much for the video,
¿no?
because I love
trabajar
to
con el
see
cobre, con el
how they
bronce,
are
algo
working
que
with
también nos
the
distingue como
copper,
pueblo.
bronze, Tinkerbells,
Coincido
thinkers.
que se firman cosas y que después hay que ir en la
I
práctica
understand
por
that
eso
there
que
are
se firma
things which
y que hay que
are
seguir luchando
signed,
y me
and then
parece
we have
saludable
to
lo de Chile.
fight.
Ojalá se
And
logre porque sería un
we
precedente
hope
creo que
we
mundial, no creo que en
get
otro
what
país,
you
eso al menos
are,
que
your
yo
proposal
sepa,
for Chile. It would be
por lo
great
menos
for
haya
us,
habido un intento, un
and
acercamiento
it
para
would be
ser
great to
parte, el
know
pueblo
that
gitano
there's
para ser
been
parte de la constitución del país.
an attempt to participate in
Eso
this
me parece
constitution of the
una
country,
pelea
and I think
interesante.
this is very
Y bueno,
interesting
eso nutre, empuja, ayuda a seguir esos caminos.
proposal, and this is good and help
Y
us to
para,
follow those
para
paths.
completar un poco
And
lo que dice Dalila,
in
también
order
sería
also
interesante, digamos,
to contribute to Dalila's
más
presentation,
unidad,
I think we would
menos
really need
confrontación.
more unity, less confrontation.
En diversos lugares hay confrontación entre gitanos y agresiones.
Sometimes we
Y
find
esas cosas
confrontation
deberían
and aggressions
cesar
to Roma people,
porque
and this should stop right now
si no, no podemos alinear el discurso con
because
los hechos.
we
Entonces
need
tenemos que
to
alinearnos,
align
ir por lo que necesitamos.
speeches and
Recién
facts. We
hablaban
have
de
to align and to
la unidad.
say what we
La
need. We
unidad
were
no
talking about
significa
unity
pensar
before.
todos igual. La
Unity
unidad
doesn't mean that
significa
we
en
are all
términos
the same.
políticos trazar algunos puntos,
That's not what
hablamos
it
10 en
means.
un momento,
What
establecer
it
esos
means
puntos
is to
en
establish
una institución
the common
rectora como la
ground
IRU pueda
and then to
establecer esos
have an
puntos a nivel
institution like
internacional
the
y
International
tratar
Roma
cada uno en
Union
su país,
to stay those
lograr un acuerdo para obtener la concreción de esos puntos.
those
Después,
items and
cada
then to
uno va a
reach an
pensar lo que
agreement to
quiere y
fight
va a
for the
ser
different
hincha
things.
o fan del club de fútbol que quiera. No tiene que haber
Afterwards,
unidad en ese
we might
sentido,
have
sino
many
unidad
differences. We
política.
might like
Me
different
parece
football
que
clubs, for instance.
esto
We
es
don't need to
lo que
have
quería
full
sumar
unity or
al discurso
full
de Dalila,
alienate,
digamos, porque
full alignment.
es
I
importante que
just
se
wanted to
logre
say
esos
this because I
consensos,
think that we
que haya
need those
respeto a la
consensus. We
diversidad,
need to respect
a la
diversity.
diversidad de criterios, de
We
opiniones,
need to
y
respect
también
different
a la
criteria,
diversidad
different opinions,
étnica, ¿no?
and
Porque
also ethnic
muchas veces
diversity.
hablamos del pueblo rom, de la
Sometimes we
lengua
talk
rom,
about
y hay una
Roma
diversidad
people, Roma
también
language,
dentro de
and there's
nuestra
also
etnia.
a huge diversity
Y
between
bueno, y está el pueblo
our
rom, pero también hay otros pueblos que forman
ethnicity.
parte
There are
del
some other
conglomerado gitano y que también tienen que estar
people
incluidos, como
who
los Sinti. Mi
have to
esposa,
be
por ejemplo,
included,
Rosa
like for instance,
Stefanowski,
Sinti people as well.
pertenece al grupo Sinto.
And
Yo
I
soy
got,
lugar.
I'm
Entonces,
Pugar,
también,
my wife is Sinti.
digamos,
So,
y en España se denominan gitanos.
well, and in
¿No?
Spain,
Aunque
they call
políticamente podemos
themselves
ser parte
Gypsy.
del colectivo rom,
Although we
que se
are
tenga
all part of
presencia,
the Rom
tenida en cuenta la presencia de
people,
otros
we
colectivos
have to
también,
take into
¿no?
account that
Para
we
poder
are
avanzar juntos,
diverse,
digo, y
so
ir
we
por estos
can
puntos que
go
acaba de
together
nombrar Dalila, que
and we
como
can work
siempre
on
es
the items that Dalila just
muy
mentioned.
puntual en lo que propone.
She is so specific in her proposals.
felicitaciones, por supuesto,
And
para Dalila
congratulations, of course,
y por el
Dalila, for your
trabajo que hacen en
presentation
Colombia,
and
más
for
teniendo en
all
cuenta
the
que no es una
things you
población
do in
numerosa la
Colombia.
población
And we
gitana en
have to take
Colombia.
into
Ella acaba de
account
dar
that there are not
números.
so many Roma people in
Y
Colombia.
son números reales, porque a veces también se tira un número
There
que
are
no
real numbers.
corresponde a la
Sometimes
realidad
we
y eso nos trae
find
problemas.
that
Por ejemplo, se dice que
they
en
are using
Argentina somos
census which are not
300.000,
right.
se habla de 1
They're
millón.
talking about
Y la
near
verdad
a
es que nosotros
million
no somos
Roma
tantos
people in
en
Argentina,
Argentina.
but that's not true.
Entonces,
Honestly, we are not
también
so
ajustar un
many
poco
here. So
las deficiencias
we have
mínimas
to
para poder presentar
be
un
real
proyecto
with
concreto
numbers, and
que
we
se
have to
haga
be
un censo,
specific to
porque tenemos que
show
derribar
up,
algunos
to write our
temores.
proposals, and we need
Por
some
ejemplo, en la Argentina
census to be
tenemos
done.
algunos inconvenientes. Hay
We've
un sector
We're facing
importante
some
de la
issues in
comunidad gitana
Argentina.
que no tiene documentos.
Some Roma people
No quiere
do not have
documentarse porque
documents,
escaparon
and
de
they
la Segunda
don't
Guerra
want
y tienen miedo que
they don't
vuelva
want to have
una
documents
persecución
because they
hacia
are
la comunidad.
afraid
Entonces también tenemos que
of a
trabajar
persecution.
porque
So we also
tenemos que
have
tener
to
documentos. No podemos no
try and
tenerlos
have our
y que
documents.
prevalezcan los temores. Los
We don't
temores los
have to
tenemos
be
que
afraid.
expulsar y
We have
tenemos
to
que
be
ganar en
brave.
derechos.
We need our
Reemplazar
rights.
los temores por los derechos
We have to
y
substitute
avanzar
fears
en
for
términos
rights.
concretos hacia una mejora para todo el
And
colectivo
we
gitano.
have to look for an
Entonces,
improvement
es
of all the Roma
importante,
people living
digamos,
conditions.
insisto con
So
esto,
let me
que
insist,
este
because
seminario sirva
this
para
seminar
poder
should
avanzar con esos
help
puntos que
us
estaban recién
to move
diagramando. Mi esposa
forward
dice, por ejemplo, que
with
nosotros no
some
somos una
other
minoría en términos cuantitativos, sino en términos de
with some
derechos.
other
Y
claims.
yo
We are not a
coincido con eso,
minority
porque
only
somos muchos millones en el mundo. Por lo
at
tanto,
legal
no somos una
only when
minoría,
we
sino un
ask for
pueblo
some legal
concreto
rights. We are
y
not a
somos
minority.
minoritarios
We
en
are a
derechos y tenemos que
nation,
ir por esos derechos.
and we just
Gracias
need
y
to
gracias,
fight for
Dalila.
our rights. Thank you, and thank
Sí,
you, Ana
tenemos
Dalila.
a José Alfredo, que
We
quiere
have
hacer
Jose Alfredo also
alguna
wants
consideración o
to
pregunta. Adelante, José Alfredo.
ask something.
No, simplemente es
Or,
que al final es lo que hemos dicho, ¿no?
well,
En
it
anteriores
is what we
ponencias, ¿no?
said
Que
before.
falta unidad, pero claro, yo
There's a lack of
cuando hablamos de
unity.
unidad, no estamos
Yes,
hablando
but when we talk about
de que
unity,
si yo soy
we
del
are
Real
not
Madrid,
talking that
que
if
todos los
my
gitanos sean del
football
Real
club
Madrid, o si uno es del
is
Barça,
the Real
que todos los
Madrid
gitanos
or
sean del Barça.
Barça,
No estamos
all of
hablando de
us
eso.
have to
Estamos
share
hablando
the
de
same
cosas
football team.
necesarias,
We are
cosas
not talking about
fundamentales
that. We are
que
talking
nos
about
unifican, ¿no? Como pueblo. Y
the
eso
basic
es
things,
algo
the necessary
que, como
things,
bien dicho, o
the
sea, quiero
things we
decir,
have
yo
in
creo que los
common.
problemas que hay
I think that we
en
share most of the
Argentina o en
issues
Colombia
around the
o en
world, in
Francia,
Argentina,
son los
in
mismos
Colombia,
problemas
or
que
in France.
hay en España. Por ejemplo, el tema
They
de
are
salud,
the
como bien
same
mencionaba
issues as
antes,
in
el
Spain. We
tema
were
de
talking about
empleo, el
health,
tema de vivienda
employment, housing,
y otras cuestiones más, que
and
creo
some
que eso
other
es lo que nos
issues.
puede unir
And I
para
think
hacer
that
fuerza y
can
hacer
make
frente, ¿no?
us
Ante las
one.
instituciones. Yo ya no hablo de Europa,
One,
sino
I
cualquier
mean,
otra
we can
institución.
all be
Simplemente
joined
eso es lo que
together.
yo
I'm not just talking
creo
about
que,
Europe.
lógicamente,
I
es
think
cuando hablo de estar
that
unidos, ¿no? Defender los intereses
that's what I
del
mean when
pueblo
I talk
gitano.
about
No hay
fighting
más.
for the
Y cuando digo los
rights
intereses, estamos hablando
and
de
for
cualquier
the
tipo
important
o
things
bien de
for the
racismo,
Roma
o bien
people.
de
And I'm
exclusión,
talking about
o como aquí,
racism,
escuela gueto,
exclusion,
a la hora de los
or
profesores,
segregation,
cualquier
ghetto
cuestión de esa, ¿no?
schools,
Me estoy metiendo ahora,
and
pero creo que eso es
so many
lo
things.
que yo quería decir cuando estábamos hablando de unión,
I
que creo que
think
no es
that's what I
un
meant
problema, porque si
by
no estamos unidos en
union.
esto, pues entonces no sé en qué vamos a estar
I
unidos.
don't know, if we
Simplemente
can't join forces to
eso.
fight against these issues, I don't know what we can do,
Pero yo
honestly.
creo, respondiendo un poco, José, creo que a
But
mi modo de
Jose,
ver, por ahí
I
sí
think
ocurrió, ¿no? Creo que no hemos trabajado en
that
esa unidad
we
política.
haven't fought for that
Porque lo
political
otro estamos de
union.
acuerdo que no
We
se
agree
puede ser iguales en
that
los
we
otros
cannot
aspectos. Pero
be
los aspectos
absolutely
políticos
the
que son
same,
tan visibles
but
y tan dañinos para nuestra comunidad,
those
Por ejemplo,
aspects, for
Dalila
instance,
recién dijo la
politics,
falta de
Ana
vacunas.
Dalila,
No hay vacunas
for
para nosotros.
instance, said, vaccination,
Si uno no
there
tiene
are
un
not
contacto,
vaccines for us.
no estamos en la agenda de ningún país.
We are
Sí se
not
pueden
in the
firmar
agenda of
cosas,
any of the countries.
pero después no se llevan a la práctica.
They are signing papers,
Entonces,
but reality is different.
y los estados también trabajan así, ¿no?
What about
Primero
states?
se firma algo,
They do the same.
después se muestra en agenda, pero
They
después
sign
hace falta los recursos para
something,
que
they include it
ley
in the
se ponga en
agenda,
marcha,
but then you
y
need
los
the
recursos
resources
económicos
for
nunca
those
están.
policies to be implemented.
No es
And
un
they don't
movimiento
find the
unísono,
resources.
partido en varios segmentos hasta que finalmente se logra
So
ese
we
movimiento, ¿no? Poner
need
en marcha eso que se
many
logró.
steps for that movement.
Pero me parece eso, que no se ha
But I'm afraid
trabajado
that we haven't worked
fuerte
on it
en un programa, y
in a
espero que
program.
este seminario sirva
And I hope that this seminar
armar un programa con algunos
will
puntos
create a program and a
mostrarlo a
document with
otras
some
instituciones
main
que lo
items
revisen, que lo
that will help
mejoren,
us, and
y
then
que se
we can review
incluyan
that document and some other people
tampoco
can
una
review the
barbaridad de puntos,
document.
porque no vamos a
I
tener
mean,
espacio y no lo van a
maybe a
querer
brief
recibir, pero
document,
ir con
because if
una
it's too
propuesta
long,
concreta
it might not be
a
read.
Naciones
But
Unidas
we
y a
can
los
go
lugares
with
donde,
a
a las
specific
instituciones
proposal
que
to the United
correspondan
Nations and
para que accedan.
to the
Por ejemplo, yo he intentado en
institutions
la
that might
Argentina
read it. I've been trying
hablar
in
del promedio de vida
Argentina to
con
talk about
fundaciones
the
que
life
trabajan con el tema de salud,
expectancy
porque con el
to
gobierno
people who work
imposible,
on health, because with the
tampoco me
government
reciben
it's
las fundaciones.
impossible. And
Por eso
even
tenemos que estar unidos
foundations,
y que sea un
I
documento
cannot access them.
internacional
So we have
refrendado
to be
por todos los
united at
países
international
y
level,
presionar en los
supported
organismos
by all
internacionales.
the countries, and then we have to go to the international
No soy un experto en el
institutions.
tema, digo, pero me
Not an
parece que
expert, but I
tenemos que
think
transitar ese camino
that we have to
con las
go
dificultades que
and we
vayan a
have to
venir. Por
follow
supuesto
that
que no va a
path.
ser fácil,
We'll face
pero
many
creo que
difficulties. I am
estamos
sure it won't
todavía
be
en un
easy,
periodo muy
but I
temprano
think
con respecto de otros pueblos.
we are
Y
at a
ya en mi
very
caso
early
soy grande y
stage in
quisiera
our
ver
proposals if we compare our
algún
situation to
avance en ese
other
sentido, ¿no?
populations.
Gracias, Jorge.
Thank
Ana
you,
Dalila quería
Jorge.
hacer
Ana
una
Dalila,
intervención,
Sí,
you
pero
wanted to
antes,
say
Ana
something,
Dalila, me gustaría
but
comentarte
before
algo. ¿Cómo es posible
Ana
que
Dalila,
con un censo tan bajo de gitanos en
with a
Colombia
low
hayáis
census in
podido conseguir
Colombia,
que se hayan
how it is
logrado
possible that
leyes
you could
específicas?
achieve
Es
for
más, ¿cómo es
specific
posible que ni siquiera os
regulations
hayan
for Roma
escuchado?
people? How could you
bueno,
talk to them? How did you do it
nuevamente
so they are listening to
agradezco
you?
este espacio.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Otro
thank you
gran saludo y abrazo
again
para cada uno de
for
ustedes. Yo creo que eso es lo que nos
inviting
pasa a los que
me.
estamos en este
This
seminario, que
happens,
es como
well, all of us
esa
who are here in this
revolución que tenemos en el
seminar,
corazón.
we have revolution in the
Esas
core of our
ganas de querer
hearts.
cambiar a veces el
We
mundo tan
want to
esquivo,
change the world.
tan difícil, tan
The
complejo
world
para el
is
pueblo gitano.
difficult for
Y es
us
así que
and complex.
acá
And
nos hemos dado a la tarea porque la
so
constitución de este
our
país
task,
es una de las
because
constituciones muy
the
avanzadas en
constitution of
derechos, sobre
our
todo
country
colectivos.
is well
Los pueblos
advanced in the
indígenas,
rights
el
of
pueblo afro
indigenous
ha puesto
people,
muertos, luchas,
and
de
also
todo.
we have
Y nosotros
Afro,
hemos avanzado como
our
también como en
population
esa
of
dinámica
African
y
descendants,
hemos
and we
tratado
have
como de
joined that
agarrar algunos elementos
dynamism,
importantes de ellos
and
para
we
que
have
podamos
tried to
también nosotros
copy
avanzar
other indigenous
en
peoples
esa
so
lucha y en esa
we
inclusión de
can also
políticas
share
públicas.
their fight
Aquí yo les puedo nombrar varios
and
decretos,
claim for
Hay uno que se llama
our
el 2957,
rights.
que es
There's
solo
one
para
decree which
gitanos,
is
es bien importante.
19/57 only for Roma
Es
people,
importante en la medida en que nos
and
visibiliza, mas no es
it's
obligante, pero se hace
important because
gestión con
it's
eso.
not binding,
Yo creo
but
que
it's working.
ha sido básicamente a
I
través
think that
de
we've
todo lo que
been
hemos podido
able to
trabajar
do
en estos
this
años.
because we've working
Ahorita vienen las
in
elecciones
these years, and now
para
we have
Senado, para
general
Cámara, para
elections for
Presidente,
the Senate,
y
for
también
the
hay
president, And also, we have an invitation to participate in the elections. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we are going to participate because it would be good for America as an example to participate in the political system. We have to wonder why we want that union. We want that union to fight for our right, to fight for the public policies, and this unity is not only for ourselves, but also for our children, for the new generation, our grandsons and granddaughters. If we don't do this, Roma people is going to disappear because our mindset is going to be the same as the non-Roma, and we don't want that. So I think that all of us who are here, we should make a statement so we can have a repercussion, an impact in the different countries. We can make it through the United Nations. I have a friend there who's Belen. She's working at the United Nations. We can send her a statement. So those public policies and the approaches we need in every country are achieved. I understand that in Spain we have some Roma people in the parliament, and I think it would be a good idea to speak to them to see how it is possible that we do not have Roma regulations to support us. And also, Covenant 161 of the IOL, which is also ratified by Spain. It talks about indigenous peoples and tribe peoples, and we are part of them. And in Colombia, we have that recognition with our constitution. But in some other countries, it might be different. We can lobby for it in our Congress and see how we can include different acts. For instance, we have the Equality Act, and I was writing to Beatriz, and you are just talking about equality, but we have also discrimination. We have an act against discrimination, and that's on the criminal law, and you may go to jail. And this is something we have to study. And also, there has been negative discrimination, and we need positive discrimination in order to improve social situation of Roma people. We need housing. They are living in settlements. They are living in neighborhoods, ghettos. We need a housing program for Roma people. And I think people in positions of power can do things everywhere we are. In Chile, for instance, I was there for many years talking to Navarro. He was a senator. So if you need any help, so in your constitution, you find one article for Roma people. We are here to help you. I just wanted to share this. Thank you very much.
Las dos veces que he viajado a Colombia,
I've been in Colombia twice. With a different, I was working in a different job that had nothing to do with the Roma people. I was shocked because I was there for two different events. One was for the Latin American Summit, and I had the chance there for the first time in my life in the application form I could say my ethnicity, I could say that I was Roma. So I said it that I was Roma, and I had someone from the ministry and said that they call them gypsy in Spain, but I am Rom. I'm gypsy and Caló, and this is the the only country in the world where I could choose a box, I could tick a box, so I can do this, but not in my country because the article number 14 in my constitution forbid us to do this. And that's amazing. So self-definition should be recognized in every country in the world. Especially because in Europe, it's very difficult for me to find an area without those minority rights. It's quite common. Regarding inclusion in the constitution, yes, it is true that in Spain we are not included in the constitution, but it is true that the Spanish system with 17 autonomous regions with a huge administration. I live in Barcelona, for instance, also very with football. You can be River, Boca, or Nacional, because we have here Colombia and Argentina with us. Okay, let's, because I follow Barca, I'm a Barca fan, and he follows Real Madrid. So diversity, yes, having a joke at this time of the day is quite late. So, constitutions, regional constitutions of the different regions in Catalonia, or national constitutions. The Roma cultural identity is recognized, but you can write whatever you want. I mean, we write everything, we say whatever, but the issue is that we need afterwards funding, and we need a coherent plan afterwards. In Catalonia, we haven't achieved it. We've been recognized as a cultural identity for Catalonia, but as our cousin was saying, we didn't have many policies to improve our culture or for the language training. We are completely frustrated here in Catalonia because they have public policies to recognize Catalan dialect and Aranese. Catalan is official language, but Roma language, it's not being recognized, but the number of Roma people living in Catalonia is higher than the number of people living in the Valle de Arán, that they are having their language recognized. So if we have almost 80,000 or 100,000 Roma population in Catalonia, our language should be recognized, our culture should be recognized in the media. So but it's not recognized almost at all. And when there's some visibility, or when we are visible, it's always for something which is negative. So I share the idea of Jorge. I fully agree with him when he was saying about diversity within unity. I don't think there's any Roma who has the same vision of the world as the Roma next to him. We are individuals, and as individuals, we believe that our vision of the world is the real one and the only one. That's what we do. We use passion. We also give our opinion passionately, but we need to find some common elements. This is important for the following 5-10 years. We can focus on that, and then we can work on a second proposal, and little by little, we create that document. And this is what is not being done by the European proposal for Roma people. I'll talk about this tomorrow, but I was reading data today because I wanted to give you current data, updated data. But in Spain in 2018, there were several policies for Roma people, and there was an investment of 11 million euros in 4 programs, and those 11 million euros are managed by only one organization. Well, this is awful because the rest of the people can't say anything about it. So we have to respect our diversity, and I think we can talk about it tomorrow. I was not going to participate. I was not going to participate today. I was just enjoying your conversation. It's been a pleasure. If you allow me, I don't know, can I go on talking? Yes, you can. There's something I want to say regarding people who are around the world. And it is, I'm in the Ibero-American League of Entities. And this is a curious thing. I think we should be organizing ourselves in a similar way but with Spain, Portugal, and Latin America. We should do that in, I don't know which way, how to do that. But we might agree on 4 items, for instance, those that we all agree on. Housing, or for instance, fighting for our language. We all agree on that. Recognition of Roma identity or Roma people in somewhere. When we talked about cultural recognition and promotion of our culture, I'm not just talking about flamenco here. In Spain, we have many non-Roma. I'm talking about literature and many other things. And all that are contributions to societies. I don't know, Football League, that's just a joke. So I think that if we are able to do that, then we can create that body. You were mentioning United Nations, but there is a program to cooperate between Latin America and Europe. The president is Eile Bajín, and she is from Spain. And the general director or the general secretary of these groups of foundations, it's a lady that travels a lot to Latin America, and you have talked about the ILO. They have programs, and if we could organize, and especially for analysts and so on, we are talking about so many things. We have the State Secretary, Ibero-American State Secretary. We have to create bridges with Latin America. And many governments in Spain have been wrong. We have to associate with Latin America on equality, not a relationship like Telefónica, the company that was going there, organizing themselves, doing whatever they wanted, and that was it. This is something, if we know how to do it, it will help us to grow as people, not only in our own countries, but I think that it is a right that we all share in
de una
Latin
manera u
America.
otra, además del romanés, nos une
Apart
otro
from
idioma
our
en el que nos
language,
estamos
we have
comunicando
another
ahora y que es
language.
fácil,
We
¿no?
have Spanish, and
de
that
hacernos. A
is
veces es más difícil.
very
A mí me
easy.
era más difícil hace muchos
For
años
me,
ir a hablar
some years ago, it
rom
was
de
very
Calderas
difficult
de Rumanía
to talk to a Rom from
uno de Portugal,
Romania
con un Calde
than from
de
one
Portugal, porque con el
from
portugués me entendía
Portuguese,
perfectamente y
non-Roma from
con el
Portuguese,
Calderas no
because
tenía
I
capacidad
could
para
talk
hacerlo.
with
Creo que
this
eso
one from
sería muy
Portugal, but not so
interesante
much with the
aprovecharlo.
one
Y lo
from
dejo ahí como idea.
Romania. We could take
Habiéndola
advantage of
pensado
that.
10
Is
minutos, o sea que
an
pensé que a
idea
esa
I
idea
just thought
hay que
for
darle
10
muchas
minutes,
vueltas
so I
que saber
imagine
muchas cosas, pero
we
bueno,
have
como
to
habéis dado
think it
algunas ideas,
through.
pues también me sentía
But
con la posibilidad, ¿no? Y la
just wanted,
confianza que tengo, sobre todo con Bere, de poder explicarlo ante gente como vosotros que nos
just
acabamos
wanted
de
to talk to
conocer, ¿no?
you.
Tenerife, ¿no? Pero yo creo que debemos de... que hay una situación en la que tenemos que ser muy amplios de mirada, y eso es una opinión personal, y no centrarnos exclusivamente en una visión europeísta, sino en una visión más global, porque si no, siempre estamos perdiendo a un grupo muy importante de primos y primas con los que podemos compartir y sobre todo conocernos y reconocernos, ¿no? O sea, lo de reconocerse creo que es más importante que lo de conocerse, ¿no? Entonces, el reconocimiento y aprender de lo que hay fuera es muy importante, ¿no? Yo repito que la experiencia que tuve en Colombia, pues para mí fue un auténtico gustazo, por decirlo de alguna manera, de decir, puedo colocar aquí en esta X que yo soy rom y lo coloco y ya está, ¿no? Y luego ya fue algo también casi cómico, ¿no? Que viene la señorita de la organización rapidísimamente con mi de esto de que, mire, es que usted ha puesto esto y se ha equivocado y no sé qué, ¿no? Me pareció como decir, bueno, esto ya es el colmo, ¿no? Quiere autoidentificarme y viene la señorita de la organización y me dice, no, que te has equivocado. Y, hombre, sabré yo lo que soy, ¿no? Pero la verdad es que, bueno, creo que ahora voy a ser muy poco políticamente correcto, ¿no? Creo que la idea que hay en algunos sectores de que aquí en España hacemos siempre las cosas muy bien o que en Europa se hacen las cosas de una manera muy innovadora, muy bien, es un error, porque yo te comento, yo en Colombia aprendí mucho, en Argentina aprendí mucho y en Brasil aprendí mucho también y tengo muchas ganas de conocer a más gente, ¿no? Y sinceramente creo que estamos perdiendo una gran oportunidad de trabajar conjuntamente, ¿no? Porque solo miramos hacia una dirección. Entonces, geográficamente, ¿no? O geopolíticamente, por utilizar otra palabra así bonita, hay la posibilidad, ¿no? de hacer de puente, ¿no? De hacer de puente y de generar esos puentes y plantear ese diálogo que ampliará más allá de lo que siempre decimos de somos tantos millones de gitanos en la Unión Europea. Pues no, mira, es que en el mundo somos muchos más y además hay muchas maneras de ser gitano, pero todas tienen algunas que son comunes y eso es lo que queremos promover, ¿no? Esto, yo creo que eso va más allá. Luego, como decían Jorge y Ana Dalila, hay que poner los recursos, hay que poner el plan, porque claro, solo con las proclamas, pues al final las fotos acaban en el olvido, ¿no? Yo salgo en pocas fotos, porque me gusta, yo soy más de segunda línea, lo reconozco, ¿no? Y hay personas que son más de primera línea, hay que darles su protagonismo y su papel, ¿eh? En eso soy totalmente cristalino.
El tema, lo que decía Pedro, que a veces no hay información en las instituciones estatales sobre nosotros, y eso es verdad, porque nosotros no nos ocupamos, en términos generales, de elaborar esos documentos y enviarlos. Eso por un lado, pero por otro lado, en el último congreso que hizo, en el único congreso que hizo el Observatorio Gitano, en septiembre del año pasado, que estuvo Bere y Dalila, Jan Yarab, al ver que no había representatividad política del Estado Nacional argentino, llamó la atención y dijo que debían estar todos los ministerios representados allí en ese congreso, y debido a que no estaban, pidió un informe. Entonces yo hice un informe muy completo y además pedí que se nombrara a la cultura gitana Patrimonio Inmaterial de la Humanidad, un proyecto que viene trabajando el Instituto de Cultura Gitana, y di información histórica sobre los distintos genocidios ocurridos en la Argentina, sobre el racismo, sobre el odio en línea, sobre el antigitanismo que también está acá, y el informe no me dieron el ok, es decir, se lo mandé al alto comisionado por América Latina, Jan Yarab, y no me han respondido, no me acusó recibo, con lo cual después en una reunión en la ONU con Belén Álvarez Rodríguez, que citó recién Dalila, le pregunté sobre eso, ella quedó de ocuparse y tampoco hubo novedades. ¿Qué quiero decir al respecto? Que cuando uno hace un informe mostrando la violencia que recibe el pueblo gitano, ponen un apuro a la ONU, porque la ONU es una institución donde se reúnen 190 y pico de países se compromete a respetar los derechos humanos de las personas, porque ¿quiénes violan los derechos humanos de las personas? Los estados, los gobiernos. Entonces, los países se comprometen a eso. Ahora, cuando aparece esa violación, para la ONU es un problema reclamar por eso. Y además de ser un problema para la ONU, no hay una fuerza política gitana que acompañe ese reclamo. Entonces quedamos huérfanos. Yo he acercado, hace 30 años que acerco material al Ministerio de Educación, nunca fue aceptado, por eso no hay. Ahora, la deficiencia sigue siendo nuestra en términos políticos porque yo iba como persona, como escritor, como docente, como intelectual, a ofrecer un documento. Pero otra cosa es cuando hay una institución, o en este caso una liga de instituciones, o un parlamento internacional gitano que reclame por los derechos. Me parece que esas son las cosas que ligo con la liga, valga la redundancia, y yo no sé si Pedro se refería a Slim, el que tiene una fundación y que también está trabajando, porque bueno, son los lugares donde se puede.
Sí,
Pues yo
me refería a él.
Claro, yo hablaba de poner en valor la cultura gitana y yo siempre sostengo y vengo hablando con instituciones gitanas que tenemos que hacer un premio de poesía que se llame Papusa y uno de narrativa que se llame Mateo Maximov y dotar ese premio con 100.000 euros para cada... y que pueden ser 2 premios. Es decir, uno exclusivamente para autores gitanos y otro abierto. Porque en el caso de que lo gane Pérez Reverte, digamos, el concurso Mateo Maximov, es mucho más embajador él que yo. Porque a mí no me conoce nadie y a él lo conocen en todo el mundo. Entonces, si él gana un concurso realizado por instituciones gitanas, pone en valor la cultura gitana. Digo, a veces también tenemos que salir de este concepto endogámico de pensarnos como únicos para todo, ¿no? Tenemos que ser generosos porque seamos sensatos también. Nosotros tenemos el brazo largo para pedir, pero tenemos el brazo corto para dar. Ninguna institución gitana ha hecho hasta ahora un concurso para pintores, para lo que sea, de cualquier rama del arte, que sea fuertemente remunerado. Porque el mercado reconoce, el modo que tiene el mercado de reconocer el talento es a través del dinero. Por ejemplo, España tiene el premio Planeta que otorga más dinero que el premio Nobel. Y es uno de los países que tiene una enorme cantidad de premios para literatura. Todos los latinoamericanos participamos en España con los concursos literarios. ¿Por qué no hacemos algo nosotros en este punto, en estos puntos que vamos a poner? ¿Por qué no hacer esto? ¿Por qué no establecer un sistema de becas? O sea, dinero hay. Lo que no hay es capacidad de gestión. Primero porque no hay unidad. Si encontramos la unidad, vamos a encontrar la capacidad de gestión. Con respecto de, y ya cierro, de la Eurosocial Plus, es interesante eso, y el hecho de que España sea modelo, lo es en este sentido. O sea, no significa que España haya superado, sino que España está abriendo un frente de batalla, porque en la medida que nosotros asumamos nuestro rol de gitanos, va a aumentar el racismo hacia nosotros, porque vamos a estar ocupando un espacio, y ocupar un espacio significa ser un blanco, y vamos a recibir muchos disparos. Y es lo que está pasando en España, pero paralelamente hay 3 diputados, hay mucho asociacionismo en España, y hay vicepresidentas que visitan instituciones gitanas. Entonces, eso hace que el diálogo sea más fluido, y en ese sentido es modelo. No porque haya logrado mucho, sí ha logrado mucho en este aspecto. Ha puesto en agenda el tema gitano. Eso es verdad. Y hay mucho racismo en España, porque mucha gente culpa a los gitanos de todo. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos ocupando un espacio. Y muchos españoles se sienten robados por los subsidios, por la presencia, por una serie de cosas. Y bueno, tenemos que avanzar significa eso, encontrarnos con un montón de problemas nuevos. Pero estar atrás, como venimos estando desde hace siglos, es dejar sin futuro a nuestros hijos, sin dejarles la posibilidad de que estudien, de que se desarrollen, de que ocupen los lugares que deseen, de que, por ejemplo, en Argentina, como en España y en cualquier parte del mundo, el medio de vida es el comercio ambulante. Y nosotros decimos, yo soy libre, voy donde quiero, me levanto a la hora que quiero, no tengo patrón. Es mentira. Esa no es una elección, es una imposición. Es lo único que podemos hacer. Para romper el círculo y hacer otra cosa, uno tiene que estudiar, y a veces ni siquiera decir que es gitano, porque no lo toman en un empleo. Y quiero cerrar con una anécdota sobre los rom. Cuando yo estuve en Rumania, me enteré que la palabra rom con doble R se escribe porque rom también significa ciudadano rumano. Entonces, para diferenciarse, los rumanos de nosotros pidieron que pusiéramos la doble R. Y la chica esta que vino a avisarle a Pedro que eso significaba rom, fíjense ustedes, o sea, ella vino corriendo a avisarle a él que él se estaba avergonzando a sí mismo porque se estaba poniendo como gitano cuando no lo era.
Efectivamente.
Entonces lo quería sacar de ese oprobio de llamarse gitano. Entonces me imagino la cara de ella cuando le dijo, lo pongo porque soy.
Ese fue el momento cumbre, ¿no?
O sea que ser gitano es una mala palabra. Y cuando uno dice que es gitano, la cosa cambia. Y se cambia siempre para mal. Entonces tenemos que revertir todo eso, y se revierte esto con ideas y con trabajo. Así que cierro pidiendo que avancemos con esto que estamos hablando, y tratemos de cerrar con un documento, ¿no? Y presentarlo donde sea necesario, porque después de la jornada de mañana podemos seguir en contacto y podemos seguir trabajando. Esa es mi propuesta. Gracias.
Esas eran las últimas palabras que yo quería decir, precisamente, me las has quitado, Jorge. Mañana vamos a cerrar...
Te pido perdón.
Lo has hecho involuntariamente. Mañana tenemos que cerrar el seminario con algunas propuestas. En este caso, perdona Jorge, pero tendrán que ser propuestas más orientadas a la estrategia europea, que es de la que estamos debatiendo. Lógicamente, ya hay unas cuantas, Nazareno me ha enviado algunas, otras personas también. Es decir, pero sin lugar a dudas hay que seguir trabajándolo, hay que hacer algo mucho más de más peso y hay que incluir, por supuesto, lo que estaba diciendo Pedro Aguilera y lo que tú estás comentando. Es decir, hay que ampliar la visión, no solamente a Europa.
Pedro, agradecerte que hayas estado este tiempo con nosotros. Como siempre, nos has abierto los ojos y has hecho que ahora tengamos una nueva visión y te lo agradezco de verdad, porque creo que nuestros primos de Iberoamérica y no hay que olvidarlos, y de hecho en los seminarios siempre hemos tenido pendiente a estos países. Y creo que bueno, que podemos empezar, ¿por qué no?, a abrir un poco lo que tú has comentado.
Buenas noches, buenos días, América. Y
acá buenas tardes. Chao.
Tardes ya, vaya.
Chao.